That's the Golden Globes. I have all the
Golden
winners right here.
Globes winners.
So I didn't watch the whole show because it's 3 hours. It was more than 3 hours again.
Hollywood Reporter.
Which I don't care. So I'm not gonna watch 3 hours. And 2 of those are just ads and 30 minutes of that.
List. Here we go.
Okay, so
all right.
Let's start at the bottom because that's like and we'll work our way to it.
Okay.
So
yeah, they can't read this on camera, so this is just so we.
But the point is, so the show was actually like, all right, I guess. There was less like dumb nonsense, I would say, from what I could tell. But
good, less dumb nonsense.
If you don't know what happened to the Golden Globes, so they didn't broadcast last year, because the year before they got in a whole heap of trouble, because it turned out that no one on the Hollywood Foreign Press Association who the event.
Mm-hmm.
They were all white. All of them were white. They were all white, so they got in trouble for that.
Can't do that.
And they'd also been definitely not getting paid by major studios.
No.
To go on nice vacations.
They would never.
They just happened to have movies in consideration at the Golden Globes. So they got in trouble for a whole bunch of stuff. They supposedly over the past year have been like completely from the ground up rebuilding the organization.
Oh, sure.
So they came back this year. Instead of on a Sunday night, they broadcast on a Tuesday night because the Critics' Choice Awards took their old slot. Now they're in a worse time slot.
What the heck is the Critics' Choice Awards?
And the guy that got to host it is a guy named Gerard Carmichael, who I didn't hear of before this.
Oh yeah, Gerard Carmichael, famous person.
Apparently he's like a stand-up guy. He did pretty good from what I saw of him, but he basically spent his entire opening monologue just talking about how he didn't want to do the show.
That seems like a good way to start.
And how they're bad. So it was kind of a weird night in that they were constantly criticizing themselves, but at the same time they were doing like the same old crap.
The only way to save yourself in like modern Hollywood from criticism is to like constantly tell everyone else about how bad you are and how sorry you are for how bad you've been.
Yeah.
So that's like their go-to strat for like trying to look
the other problem is because they became so controversial, a bunch of people who were nominated for stuff and even people who won stuff didn't show up to the ceremony. So spoilers for this list we're about to read that you can already just find online. Zendaya, Cate Blanchett, and Tom Cruise, like all three of them, I don't think Tom Cruise did, but I know Cate Blanchett and Zendaya won awards and they just weren't there. So they had a bunch of missing people. Just was a really weird event. But we'll start. Obviously, the Golden Globes is weird because they do movies and TV, and they also split the categories up into really
it's a long one.
Dumb ways. But we'll just kind of speed through these.
All right, let's go.
So, best performance by an actor in a supporting role in a musical or comedy or drama television series.
You know, those three things that are very similar.
Tyler James Williams won for Abbott Elementary.
Okay.
So the big general themes for the night was that the big movie that they liked, not the big movie, the big comedy show they loved, Abbott Elementary. That's the big they loved it.
Everyone saw that one.
The drama stuff was a little bit more split up, and then the movie stuff was all over the place.
All right, let's go. Best performance by an actress in a supporting role in a musical comedy drama was Julia Garner for Ozark. Sure, why not?
Because Ozark was on its final season. That category had 2 people from Abbott Elementary.
Yes. Best performance by an actor in supporting role in a limited series, anthology series, or motion picture made for television.
Paul Walter Hauser won for Blackbird. This is the show about Taron Egerton goes to jail.
Oh, Dahmer didn't win? What a shame.
I know. Best performance by an actress in a supporting role in a limited series, anthology series, or motion picture made for television. Jennifer Coolidge won for The White Lotus.
Is she related to the president?
Which tracked. She got like 10 total minutes of time she was... The other big theme of the night was that anytime anyone was on stage, after like 45 seconds, they started playing them off.
Nice.
And like 6 separate times, the actors giving the speech would yell at the people in the room playing the music to stop trying to play them off. Michelle Yeoh, in her acceptance speech, threatened to beat up the piano guy.
If you play me off. All right.
But apparently Jennifer Coolidge has a lot of fans over there because she presented an award where she talked for 5 minutes and then accepted an award where she talked for another 5 minutes.
Awesome. Good. She needed the time. She really stood out.
Best performance by an actor in a limited series. Evan Peters won for my favorite television
Dahmer.
title.
Woo.
Dahmer - Monster: the Jeffrey Dahmer story.
Yeah. Best performance by an actress in a limited anthology or motion picture made for television was Amanda Seyfried for the Dropout.
She was another one who won but did not show up to the actual event.
And then Best Television Limited Series, Anthology Series, or Motion Picture was The White Lotus.
The winner was The White Lotus. However, The White Lotus had a second season.
Which season was it?
The second one, which would not make it a limited series. But technically, every season is like a new story. So I guess they qualify
it's an anthology
series. But also, that's 3 different things in one category.
It's okay, don't worry about it.
I mean, it beat out Pam and Tommy, The Dropout, Dahmer, and Blackbird.
Sure, yeah, I haven't seen any of those, so yes, I agree.
Best performance by an actor in a comedy series. Jeremy Allen White won for The Bear. He beat out Bill Hader for Barry, Donald Glover for Atlanta, and then Steve Martin Short for
The Martins.
Which is he's becoming a rising young star, Sam.
All right, yeah, I don't even know who that is. So
he was
sure.
I know Max watched Bear.
Didn't
wish he was here though. It's a show about. Apparently, it's very good.
Cooking meth or just regular cooking?
Cooking sandwiches.
Oh, so not meth.
Not meth, Sam. Not every show is about cooking meth. I know you've been watching a lot of Breaking Bad.
I actually haven't, since we don't have Netflix right now.
Best performance by an actress in a television series, musical or comedy. Quinta Brunson won for Abbott Elementary. That was like the biggest one of the night. Was she won for her main role on that show?
Yay! She's like the new like Leslie Knope person. Like she's like all over all. Things.
She stars and created it and writes that show.
Like but like now she also does like deals for she's in like makeup ads and stuff. Like all of a sudden,
everywhere now. Well,
like over the course of like a week, she suddenly was like everywhere.
And I don't mean to demean that show. It's a really good show.
So wasn't she also in the New Year's Eve thing?
I think she was. I know she was also in.
She was like a foot shorter than everyone else.
She was in
there.
Weird. She had a cameo. But
Weird. What's that?
That Weird Al movie.
Oh, okay.
Everyone was upset because Jenna Ortega did not win for.
Oh, all the millennials got upset. Or all the Gen Zs got upset.
They're getting they'll give her an award.
She'll win eventually.
Also, is that a con? I guess it's a con. Best comedy series. Abbott Elementary won. Beat out The Bear, Hacks, Only Murders and Wednesday. I would say it's probably better than at least 3 of those.
Sure.
Best performance by an actor in a drama series. Here was the big dumb one. Kevin Costner won for Yellowstone. Now, Sam, there was another man nominated in that category. His name is Bob Odenkirk for a TV series called Better Call Saul, which had
one of the most critically acclaimed series of all time.
Well, technically not. It has been nominated between the Emmys and the Golden Globes around 50 times now. You know how many awards it's won?
Like 2?
0.
Oh, that's good.
It's never won anything a single time. And they gave Kevin Costner...
He really needed some more awards.
An award for Yellowstone, which I get is like a lot of people watch, but also he's just Kevin Costner in that show. Bob Odenkirk is doing a million different things at once for a guy who was known for Mr. Show for a really long time. So why they did, I guess they just hate Better Call Saul for no reason.
I guess. But I don't know.
They gave Breaking Bad like every award.
Maybe
which is why it makes less sense.
Maybe it's because they just like don't want to give it all the awards because of Breaking Bad.
7 years. Breaking Bad ended like 7 years ago.
Okay, but think about what shows they've seen in that time. Like probably just Yellowstone.
They give The Crown every time there's a new season of The Crown. They like it blows their minds.
Watch The Crown. They only watch The Crown, Yellowstone, and they used to watch Breaking Bad.
You know why? You know them.
They're all old.
They're all really old.
They're all old people.
Which you can tell by the other categories.
Which is why Wednesday will not win any awards.
Also, by Yellowstone won because...
Best performance by an actress in a television series.
Drama.
Is that different than all the other things? Which is Zendaya.
Again, she did not show up. So she beat a bunch of random...
She beat House of the Dragon, which was the only one that was like...
Good for Zendaya, man.
And then best television series drama was House of the Dragon, which...
Well, I think you skipped a couple.
No, I did not.
Okay.
Right here. Which was House of the Dragon, which
was kind of a shocker.
Crazy, because again, Better Call Saul,
final
also
season,
nominated.
Your last chance to not... What was celebrated as a perfect ending to that show did not win in favor of the first season
and now,
of a Game of Thrones prequel.
I haven't seen Better Call Saul, but... House of the Dragon is very good. I will say it's as good as like the first few seasons of the original Game of Thrones. So like it's nothing to scoff at. And again, I haven't seen Better Call Saul, but I'm surprised that it beat Better Call Saul.
Well, it's apparently not because they just hate it.
But again, what shows do these people watch?
Well, I don't. That's weird.
Who was the only person in our family who originally watched Game of Thrones? There's only one. Game of Thrones. No, but he watched it later. He watched it only because I watched it.
Who?
Wasn't me.
Your uncle?
Nope, think older.
Grandpa?
You're close.
Or great-grandpa?
Granny.
Oh, our grandma?
Granny was the only one who watched Game of Thrones.
Kinda cool.
Like weekly.
Kinda funny.
And she was old. So my point being, no, it's another show old people watch.
It's just weird because House of the Dragon is guaranteed to run for like 5 seasons.
4.
And they gave it, that's 4 guaranteed years it's going to be up for this award, and they gave it to it immediately, which is insane.
Hey, they got the faith.
Best original song, Natu Natu won for RRR. They also tried to play this guy off because he was not from America and did not speak very good English. So they were like, get the guy who's not white off stage, get him off quick.
That's a good look for them.
That's where they want to be at.
That's the kind of image they want to put out right now.
3 of the 5 best original songs were songs that just played over the credits. But hey, good for him, man. We're good for people who made that song. They beat out Rihanna
and
Lady Gaga and Taylor Swift. So
and Xiao Papa, which was very popular. Best original score.
Justin Hurwitz won for Babylon because I guess they had to give it something.
Because all right, cool.
But a lot of the big time awards movies just kind of like flamed out immediately, which is why there's not really a clear front runner this year. Best screenplay for a motion picture. The Banshees of Inisherin won. That was the favored, and it's also probably the best screenplay out of all of them.
Yeah, Steven Spielberg wasn't going to win. Women Talking, they didn't watch.
No, it had too many women in it.
Yeah, they don't watch things.
Everything Everywhere All at Once went right over their heads.
Yeah, they didn't understand.
There was too much going on. And then Tar, they fell asleep during Tar.
Yeah.
So they only made it to the Banshees.
Best director for a motion picture.
Steven Spielberg won.
For The Fabelmans.
For The Fabelmans. He beat out Martin McDonagh, Baz Luhrmann, Daniel Kwan, and Daniel Scheinert, also known as Daniels, and then James Cameron. The only real competition he had was James Cameron. It wasn't going to be Baz Luhrmann or Martin McDonagh.
Yeah, okay, now let me speak for a moment, a bit out of character, in defense of the directing for Avatar. It is very hard to get expressions through the CGI masks that every character has to wear. And it's several different points. This is something I actually did notice that I don't think I mentioned when we reviewed it. It's several different points in the movie. Actors are communicating and like acting just through facial expressions. Like, I don't know if you remember, there's the part where like main character and his family show up on the beach of Water Tribe, right?
Sully.
Yeah. And he's like, please, let me and my family stay. We's very homeless and we need to not be dead.
Oh, are you talking about the really sexist scene where and it's not really that sexist, but when they all show up and like both of their wives immediately start giving each other mean
and then they
looks.
Start arguing, right? And then
the two dudes look at each other like
there's the scene, darn women. There's the scene where the Water Tribe chief looks at the queen, and like there's an exchange between them where they don't say anything. They just look back and forth at each other a couple times, and through the emotions on their face, the wife kind of understands, all right, well, we kind of have to do this, and she like goes off. But there's no dialogue in that scene. I think that is very impressive, that they're able to get that level of emotional expressiveness through those characters. And I think that does speak in part to James Cameron's direction.
However, Sam, even Spielberg made a movie about movies.
And they like those.
They love those.
Especially when the movie about movies is about the guy who made movies. We'll get to
who won Best Picture later, but see, I was fine with Spielberg winning. It's been 20 years since he last won a Golden Globe. And
I don't think we reviewed it, but The Fabelmans was very good.
It was good. I liked it. But he gave a really good speech too. He talked about how he used to be a PA, and he talked about how like it took him forever to like work up the courage to make the movie. So it was a nice speech. But you know who had a better speech, Sam? That was the guy who won Best Performance by an Actor in a Supporting Role, and that was Ke Huy Quan for Everything Everywhere All at Once. He was the first one to win an award, and he gave the best speech of the night. And if you just turn the awards off right there,
Be
really
good to
didn't
go.
miss a whole lot. But yeah, he deserves to win this award by far.
Yeah,
He's great in that movie.
he's really good.
Especially since a guy who really didn't do a whole lot of acting for like 30 years.
And he's kind of like the heart of that movie.
Yeah, he's the heart in a lot of ways. I think this pretty much cemented that he's going to win Best Supporting Actor at the Oscars.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that was such a good movie.
He was great.
Everyone needs to see that movie.
But Sam, you know what people talked about even more? It was the best performance by an actress in a supporting role because it was Angela Bassett for Black Panther Wakanda Forever.
Ooh.
And that was a Marvel film, Sam. That was a Marvel
That
movie.
has that word on it that
I
everyone
know
knows.
what that is.
The word right there. You can't see it, but it says Marvel where I'm pointing.
Sam, I've seen Marvel movies before.
I know that word. I know Iron Man. I know him.
She really won this because there's not a clear frontrunner for this award either this year.
What do you mean?
For Best Supporting Actress, there's not like one where everyone just says it's going to be them.
It should have been Jamie Lee Curtis. No, actually, it should not have been.
Jamie
She did nothing.
It should have been Stephanie Sue.
It should.
She was not nominated.
But she wasn't nominated for some
Carrie,
reason.
I probably would have if it was me and it was these 5. I've only seen 3 of these movies, but I probably would have given it to Carrie Condon for Banshees of Inisherin. She's really good in that.
I
movie.
give it to Dolly DeLeon.
Angela Bassett
that has the funniest name.
Is good in Black Panther, but I feel like it's one of those awards where they gave it to her just because she did a lot of yelling, and for some reason, there's this perception that good acting
Yelling equals
is
good
just
acting.
yelling a lot.
I am the queen of the most powerful nation in the
I'm
world.
not dissing her; she did good.
Yeah, I'm not saying it was a bad performance. I'm
Good-
just saying that's a
good
trend
for
that's
her,
in Hollywood.
you know.
That's a thing.
I was really Marvel needed a win, Sam.
It's been a while since Marvel had a win.
Sam, they just they're just a small company making indie films. And
They're
they
just
need a
trying
lot
to.
of
They're
help.
just out here trying to make it. In
That's
America.
right.
They're just a little guy out here trying to
now
make
with this one day, maybe one day,
Maybe one day they'll make it.
best non-English language picture.
They didn't see any of
This
these.
was a big thing. It was Argentina 1985, which beat All Quiet on the Western Front,
Which I
Decision to
heard
Leave,
about.
and RRR, which was all
I think
3 of
RRR
those
probably should
were
have won.
considered to be more clear winners than Argentina.
Because
1985 was.
RRR was like huge.
This was another thing where the guys came up on stage and they didn't speak very good English, and so they just played them off immediately.
Cool. Thank you, Golden Globe
They
guys.
were not white, and that cannot be acceptable at the Golden Globes. Best animated picture, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio won, which pretty much cemented it as the movie that's going to win
Yeah.
Best Animated Feature.
I mean, I haven't seen it yet, but from what I've seen, I think it. I mean, the animation alone is freaking
I love you,
awesome.
Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. But yeah, it's gonna be Pinocchio, and Guillermo del Toro gave a nice little thing where he was like, animation is not like just a
It's not just for babies,
genre
guys.
for babies. It's like
Not just for babies.
It's an actual medium where you can make a good movie.
Watch like any anime.
All right, now here's the big ones: best performance by an actor in a motion picture, musical, or comedy. So they split them, but the motion picture stuff into musical and comedy because those go together, of course, and then drama. And if it's not a musical or a comedy, it just gets thrown in the drama category. And what is the difference between a comedy?
Yeah,
and
those
drama?
are all the same.
They don't know because Banshees of Inisherin is apparently a comedy.
Oh, it's
even though
hilarious! It's a super funny.
It's
show.
I mean, it is funny, but it's a dark comedy, and it's mostly like a really sad drama. But it's a comedy, apparently.
It's a comedy
But-
in the same way that like Romeo and Juliet is a comedy, where like they
'Cause
make
there's
they make 2 jokes and everyone
Did you see
is
Banshees
dead.
of Inisherin?
No.
Okay, you should. It's really good. But
Yeah.
Colin Farrell won for that movie, which he deserves to. He's amazing in it.
Oh, the menu was not.
He also gave a nice speech.
Oh, Daniel Craig didn't win.
Colin Farrell's
Boo.
probably gave the funniest speech of the night. He yelled at Barry Keoghan for eating his cereal while on set,
That's funny.
and he talked about the donkey that they had that they were filming with.
I don't know about the donkey.
Yeah, you got to watch the movie to know what he's talking about.
I
But he was also good.
wanted Daniel Craig to win. Boo, sad.
One day, Sam. Maybe he'll win for doing that terrible Southern accent.
All right, best performance by an actress
in a motion picture, musical, or comedy.
was Michelle
So,
Yeoh.
essentially, for the Oscars right now, there's 2 frontrunners for this.
Mhm.
It's either going to be Cate Blanchett or Michelle Yeoh. Luckily for the Golden Globes, they split them into 2 separate categories, so they both got to win.
So they can both win.
So we really don't know who's going to win the Oscar.
It's a toss-up, guys.
So Michelle Yeoh won for
Everything
Best Action
Everywhere
Motion
All at Once.
Picture. So it turns out, despite the fact that Everything Everywhere All at Once probably has like one of the better scripts and is one of the better directed movies, it's probably going to win most of its awards. The acting categories. which is
Okay,
interesting.
the like whoever direct I don't actually remember.
Daniels.
Yeah, the Daniels. What kind of movie is Everything Everywhere All at Once not?
A musical.
Is there no musical segments?
No.
But it's basically everything else.
There's scenes with the music in it.
There's a bunch of like super well done action scenes.
Mm-hmm.
The comedy is actually funny.
Mm-hmm.
The drama is genuinely like moving.
Mm-hmm.
It does everything good. Great even.
But I think the old guys who do this, they didn't watch it.
They were like, that is not White Man.
And
what
they
is
saw
this
that there
movie?
was like a lot of weird stuff going on, and they just went, this is probably
Why
a
that
joke.
lady got a hot dog for a hand?
They got to the part where
People don't have a hot dog.
They got to the part where the
for a
rocks start
hand.
talking to each other, and they were just like, nah, I'm out. I don't know what's going on.
It's like if
I'm gonna
Wyatt
go watch
would've-
The Fablemans.
It's like if Wyatt reviewed
That's
all these.
because Wyatt didn't
movies.
like that movie.
Yeah, he didn't like it because he's like,
it was too
"Yeah,
weird.
you had a hot dog for finger. That movie dumb." And we were like, "Oh, so you just like missed the point."
Best motion picture, musical, or comedy. Sam, this was where we got the big boys. This was really considered a two-way race. It was either going to be Everything Everywhere or Banshees of Inisherin, and Banshees of Inisherin won.
All right,
fine. I probably
cool.
those are probably my two favorite movies of the year. To be honest, so I
Not Glass Onion,
don't really. Glass Onion was good, but
not
it's not
Triangle
as
of Sadness.
I haven't seen.
But it's got the funniest name.
Was it?
It's a sad triangle. It's like a Dorito that's been dipped in a pool.
I don't think that's what it's referring to.
That's exactly what it's about. That's
It's actually about a boat. Anyway.
No.
It's about a Dorito that got dipped in
It's
a pool.
about a guy on a boat who dips a Dorito in the ocean.
Maybe it is. I didn't watch it.
I didn't either.
Best performance by an action or motion picture. Okay. This one was really controversial. Because everyone thought it was going to be Brendan Fraser for the win.
Yeah.
However, Brendan Fraser did not show up to the awards because he has a really just a horrible thing happen to him by the guy who used to run the Hollywood Foreign Press Association.
Cool.
He said he was not going to show up no matter what. So weirdly enough, Austin Butler won for Elvis because that's a movie old people would like.
They've seen that.
Because they were alive when Elvis was cool.
They know him. They know her. He's been around. All right,
Elvis is
moving
a
on. The movies are her.
The movie is a woman?
Yes.
Okay.
Best performance by an actress in a motion picture drama.
And then so Cate Blanchett won in this category.
For Tar. Against Olivia Colman for Empire of Light, Viola Davis for
Okay,
Woman King,
Sam, here was the big
and
boy.
the rest.
Best motion picture drama. The Fablemans won.
What?
It beat
How?
out Tar, Elvis, Avatar, and Top Gun Maverick. Honestly,
Oh, well, now that you read
it
the
probably
other
is
ones,
better than those
It is
four,
better than those four.
but it's
why
not
is it
better
those...
than Everything Everywhere and
No.
Banshees.
It's not.
So you see how splitting these up is weird.
Kind of goofed up the system here.
Yeah, I mean, cool, I guess.
I think way more people were crying during Everything Everywhere All at Once than laughing. So I think that is what we should use as a determinant for where it goes.
Yeah.
Is it more people laughing or more people crying?
Well, we'll see at the Oscars, won't we?
We'll find out.
I mean, it's definitely the front runner for like the stereotype Oscar bait movie, right?
And for the rest of
Like-
this, what?
Look,
Zoom
it's
in.
Happy Guillermo.
MacBook Zoom. Zoom. It doesn't like to zoom. He's
No, it
decided he
doesn't
does
wanna
not
zoom.
want to zoom.
But The Fablemans feels like
Imagine it zooms, though.
if you think of like the stereotype movie that people who run the Oscars love, it's long, it's made by Spielberg,
And it's
it's
boring.
about movie magic, it's about sappy family drama,
That's the stuff they like.
and it's for old people. So like it's everything.
And, like, there's no confusing thing.
No, it's very simple.
Like, there's
you will not.
no...
There's nothing up to interpretation.
It's
Is
just
all
what's
there.
going on. Yeah.
So
And now, not to discredit the movie, it's a very good movie. I like it a lot. It was a very well done movie. It's not
amazing. I don't think
it's
just
not
good.
like there's one layer to it. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It wears its colors on its sleeves. It's very brazen about its themes. It's about, creativity and you're expressing your passion. But it's not like as good as some of the other things that I think would. Anyway,
We'll find out who will win. Won't
or
we?
not nominated, but movies that were not nominated.
Everything Everywhere All at Once is not.
It's the best. It's the best one though.